guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gearing up for Garbaugust. Alright people, it is time. Next week is going to be the beginning of August, which means Garbaugust, and that means a whole lot of trash. So if you don't know, Garbaugust is a reading event created by Olly over at CriminOlly, whose channel will be linked below. Although for all intents and purposes of August, it will be screaming CriminOlly to all of us. So Olly created Garbaugust last year, and last year went very well. There were a bunch of hosts, and this year I'm a host. Yay! So there's a lot of us hosting the challenge. All of our names will be linked below. I'm not even gonna try to say them out loud because I know I'm gonna butcher them. I myself am bookbound dildo for the month of August. It hasn't started yet, but you can call me that for a week and a month if you want. Anyway, so those are our names for the month, and the purpose of the reading challenge is to read trashy books for the month. This year, okay, for week 1, the themes are category romance or men's adventure. So this is essentially, category romance is romance of different types. Typically it's like the Harlequin romance type of things, and men's adventure is men that go on adventures. I don't think it could have been any more simple. The second week, the challenge or the themes are Paperbacks from Hell or Vintage Smut, and that is from 7th to the 13th. Paperbacks from Hell is a book written by Grady Hendrix, I believe. I'll correct myself if I got it wrong. I should have checked before the video, I'm sorry. So he wrote a book called Paperbacks from Hell, in which he talks about a lot of vintage horror. I don't know if it's all of the vintage horror or if he selected it somehow. I believe it's all of it though, from like the 70s and 80s. And then vintage smut, I mean, that's pretty explanatory. Sorry, my cat is trying to get some attention. Okay. Week number 3 is going to be novelizations or books by famous people. So novelizations are books that are based on movies. Typically it's the other way around, but for Garbaugust it's the other way around. And then books by famous people, obviously not authors, typically celebrities or yeah. And then week 4, which is also going to be week 4 and 5 for this year, is anything goes. Any kind of trash you want, you name it, you want it, you got it, you can read it, and you can talk about it, and we all want to hear about it. So this year, in addition to those books, we will also be reading The Devil's Laughter by William W. Johnstone, in honor of Pax Panic, who was a co-host last year and who unfortunately passed away from cancer during this year. So we're doing this to honor her. We also, this is the next thing, we also have a bingo card that I will show here that has a bunch of different categories that are related to different types of trashiness that you can fill out and cross out, and whoever gets a bingo gets a trash medal of valor, I guess. And so there's also a square, if you'll notice, dedicated to Pax, where you can read either a book that has green on the cover, or you can read one of the books she read last year, which will be listed below as well. So without further ado, let me present to you the books that I will be reading this year. So for week 1, which is category romance or men's adventure, for this one I'm going to go with men's adventure and do Mysterious Island by Jules Verne. So this I have on my ebook, so I don't have the physical copy to show you. This is a story about 5 men who go hot air ballooning, and I believe they crash land on an island, and they kind of have to learn how to survive. I guess it's sort of Lord of the Flies, but with adults, and also before Lord of the Flies. So I think it's before Lord of the Flies. Anyway, that's about all I know about it, and I think it's cool. I prefer going into books knowing a little about it rather than more. But it is a classic, so I'm assuming to some extent it's good. I don't know. So for week number 2, Paperbacks from Hell or Vintage Smut. I thought, why not do both? So this is one of the exceptions because one of the 2 I picked is very, very short. Also, I know that during week 2, I may have a little bit more time to read, possibly, so we'll see how it goes. So the first one I picked for this, which is the Vintage Smut, is Sweet Meat Country, Rude Beginnings by Becca White. Let me read to you what was in the Amazon description. Okay, this is Amazon FR. An approximately 9,000 word story, the first in a series called Sweet Meat Country. Note, this is the clean version, which, boo! But, you know, what can you do? Parental guidance suggested. For the clean version, I don't know. Language, sexuality, drug use depicted. Disclaimer, this is purely a work of fiction. Good to know. Excerpt. At age 30, Maximilian Speed returned to Sweet Meat Country after a decade in California, only to find the town plunged into utter despair. In the grips of a drug addiction, poverty, and sexual deviance, the town was at the mercy of the cruel Supreme Rahim, aka Slick the Snake Oil Pimp. Boy, I want to read this one. I can't wait to get to week 2 to read this one. Also, it's just 9,000 words, which is why I was like, yeah, I could squeeze it in. No pun intended. Pun intended! And the other one is a Paperbacks from Hell, and that is Killer by Peter Tonkin. And this is the synopsis. They were caught in the ultimate trap. They face the ultimate fear. Terror, whatever, same thing. 5 men and 1 beautiful woman marooned in a floating island of marooned on a floating island of Arctic ice. Together they had the equipment and skills to fight the freezing cold, the violently savage storms. Then suddenly from the angry seas of Jaws, the jaws of horror opened wide as nature's deadliest creature rose from the depths. A huge killer whale of enormous intelligence, incredible power, indestructible endurance, enormous for human prey. Oh, ravenous for human prey, sorry. This reissue of Peter Tonkin, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, that's pretty much it. Killer whale stuff. Alright, and then week 3 is Novelisations or books by famous people. So I have 2 books for this week, and honestly, I'm not sure if I can get through both, but hear me out. I'm gonna read, they're both books by celebrities, and because week 4 is Anything Goes, my plan for Anything Goes is to A, finish the books I was not able to finish before, and then B, maybe squeeze in something else. But the 2 books I have are Dave Barry's I'll Mature When I'm Dead. Hold on. Where is it? Okay. I'll Mature When I'm Dead. So, when looking for books for Garbaugust, I naturally, as anyone does when they're looking for trash, went to the family bookshelves, to which my parents mostly contributed along the years, and yeah. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so I went to my family bookshelves, to which my parents mostly contributed to over the years, and I found a lot of Dave Barry books. If you don't know, he was a comedian in the 80s or so, and then he went like comedian, writer, etc. You get the picture, right? Okay, and so I picked this one of all because at the beginning of each, they all seem kind of funny. At the beginning of each of them, there's like a thank you note type of thing, and this one was my favorite, so I decided to go with this one. Let me read it to you. It says, "This book is dedicated to everybody who buys this book. Without you, I would have to get an actual job." And that is why I picked this book. And the other book, which you might have seen in my previous Garbaugust videos, is Fart Proudly by Benjamin Franklin. Now, I believe this is an essay written by Benjamin Franklin about farting. Writings of Benjamin Franklin you never read in school, obviously. Yeah, so sounds like fun. I think this is just like a long essay about booty tooties. Anyway, so that's for what I'm going to be reading in Garbaugust. I'll link all the resources will be in the description below. I hope you enjoyed the video. Happy trashy reading. See you next month. Or see you in the next video. And next month. Bye!